Good morning, good evening, good night. It is Layer 1 Live. We are breaking down the entire crypto industry, the entire blockchain industry that is blowing up before our eyes, not in a bad way, but maybe a little bit. We're seeing some downward movement, but I say we because I have the man, the myth, the legend, Crypto Buffalo. How you doing today, Crypto Buffalo?
Good morning, good evening, good night.
I'm doing A-okay, man. I had a little bit of a hell week, and that's because I wasn't in that city. And I'm back. Y'all opened the gates and you let the Buffalo back in. I appreciate that. I had to do a lot of work for Microsoft. It was probably one of my craziest weeks as a freelancer, freelance cameraman and director, and I've done it for 15 years, and this week was brutal. But it has ended this morning, and now I'm here on Layer 1, and we have ourselves a great show, and right after this, I'm going to be putting together Lads Radio in Lad City. So, man, that party has just gotten started today on Friday.
Absolutely, man. Yeah, we are getting ready for this episode. I believe the echo issue is a one-time thing. I don't think we had any problems there. If we still have the echo, let me know, though, because I could definitely figure that out. Hopefully, we're good today. You guys, we are going to have an awesome episode. We did a lot in Lad City this week. So
Yes, we did.
I don't know if you want to break that down. We've got a ton of stories. We're going to hit breaking news. We're going to hit quick news, Coinbase, Tether. We've got some money flowing into Miami, as they say. We got Beeple absolutely killing it. And then we're going to hit NFTs and DeFi, 1 inch moving over to Binance Smart Chain. That's pretty big. So happy to have everybody in the chat. We are going to touch on Lad City and specifically Lads.City. And we're going to have Crypto Buffalo break this down because he is in the house. So let's do it, Buff. What do you got for me?
What do I got for you? Well, let's do a breakdown. Starting from Monday when I wasn't here, you did Layer 1 Live and you crushed it. And then on Wednesday, we had an NFT Live with you and Ronan the Collector. Another great show, another great turnout from the lads. Then y'all went back into Lad City, the Discord. And then Thursday, Easy Street, which is popping off. I believe this is the 4th or 5th week in a row. Easy Street is growing. He's bringing on some awesome guests, throwing out a lot of new tokens from those guests. They bring in a lot of stuff. So if you tune in for these Easy Streets, man, get prepared. Maybe bringing on Vela, 'cause, you know, things are falling from the sky, man. Easy. Big shout out to you, brother. You are bringing the heat. I wish I was there ahead of time to do the Lads Radio to pre-funk party that up. But we'll be doing that, like I said, post Layer 1 today. And then we have, of course, Lads Radio I was just talking about. Then tonight, game night, Valheim. I'll tell you right now, I've been working all week. And at the end of Lads Radio, I'm playing Valheim till my eyes bleed all weekend. I love that game. It is nice to take a break from crypto and jump into a game. So tonight, Lads Game Night will be Valheim. Jump on Steam and download it. It's only $19.99. You can save a penny, just under 20. And then we've got Lads Poker on Saturday. XWOW has been running a great poker tournament. It is going to be ongoing every week. There's awesome prizes. Q, you're going to join in this time, right?
I'm thinking this might be the first poker event I can actually take part in, so I'm sure going to be losing 20 to 30 bucks, here or there, or I guess, just join and see what I can do.
That's all you can do, right? Just show up and then see what happens, see where the cards lie, and see how those chips lie too, man. And then Sunday, usually everybody just, goes to church and hangs out and doesn't do much, but that's not true. Sunday evening, we got a clubhouse, a Lads Clubhouse, and if you don't know what Clubhouse is, where you been? It's time to get in, and we've got private invites for any lads that don't have invites. We'll get you in, and we're going to be doing a Lads Clubhouse hosted by the Clubhouse master himself. I'm pretty sure he has a percentage of Clubhouse at this point. Ronan the Collector has been in there grinding away, networking away with the NFT space and the crypto space, and it's blowing it up in there. So I look forward to it because I bought an iPad just for Clubhouse, and I haven't been in weeks. So back to the Clubhouse I go, and hopefully you can see a lot of lads showing up on Sunday evening to support the Lads Clubhouse event, which hopefully we can do every Sunday, man. It feels like a good time to get the lads together and talk about what we did that week. And anybody who's never heard about lads, we can explain to them what we're trying to do here in Lad City.
Yeah, and I kind of want to break that down before we get into quick news, what we're trying to do here at Lad City. But we have some lads in the house. XPlow is in Small Town Cowboys, and Asmodi saying regional time of day. Janaski saying we are ready, and this is pretty cute. This is a really good connection here. Ballas is saying welcome home, Buff. So it is nice to actually have you, man. Mike Finch is also in the house, an OG lad from back in the day. Shout out to Mike Finch being here today, and he's also saying Buffalo an absolute natural on the mic. Well, you should see him on Lads Radio.
That's right. Coming up right after the show, I'll throw some lads at your face.
Awesome, guys. So I got a ton that we're going to get to today. I think Buffalo broke down exactly what's happening in Lad City. I am going to drop a survey. Hunter is one of the nobles within Lad City. He holds more than 5,000 lads, and he does a great job putting together analytics and putting together the survey that I just kind of posted in chat there, and I'll pin it. If you guys have been in Lad City, which a bunch of you guys have been for a long time, please go ahead and fill that out. The top 3 impactful surveys, judged by the team, are going to get 300 lads each, and we're going to use that to make lads better, and we definitely have a lot of updates to kind of get to you guys here over the course of the next couple weeks. Buffalo has been grinding IRL for the last 2 weeks. I can't even tell you the conversations we've been having. So it's going to be great to have him back. I think things are going to pick up 100%.
Oh, yeah.
But definitely fill that out. Hunter is going to be, analyzing that over the next coming days here, and we'll be able to use that to make lads better. So appreciate it, and we are definitely going to get rolling. All-time high today, 116. So if we hit 117, you are earning double lads here today. Lads utility token. I don't know, Buff. Do you kind of want to give them the rundown, maybe a TLDR at what the hell lads is?
Too long didn't read? I didn't know what that stood for. Until you started saying it so many times, I actually Googled it. I was like, that's what that means. I was like, what is titular? So before I get into that, all you lads, all you OGs, nobles all the way down to nomads, we can now make it easier for you to share the link to Lad City. Go to your browser, any browser, get on your phone, iPad, anything you got there that connects to the internet. Go to your browser, type in lads.city right now. Go ahead and enter and see what happens. That's right. It brings you to the front gate of Lad City. If you remember, well, you're right in. You already got the key to the gate. But if you're not, it signs you up, shows you how many people are in here. And this Lad City link is now easier than having a random Discord-generated link that sometimes expires. Don't know why they do that. But in this case, it is there now. Lads.city routes straight to the Discord, straight to the city. And soon there'll be metaverses that we'll be linking to. But for now, the Discord is where we all go after the show. And it is now easier than ever to share to your friends, family, and neighbor's dog how to get to Lad City. Just lads.city. Just type it in there. Do it right now. Click it. See what happens. And then come on back to the show.
Yeah, absolutely. Don't leave the show. Just you can do that in another browser. Okay, guys, we're gonna hop into the show. If you guys are here for the first time, we're breaking down blockchain. We're breaking down crypto. If you come in after the show, and maybe you don't want to hear all the ramble jambles that we just kind of went through, you can link. We're going to have the timestamps directly in there for you guys that you can actually hit the stories and you can be off and running there. So without further ado, I think Buff, broke that down. We have so many people to thank from our community, nobles. We got miners. We have server boosters that even allowed that server lads.city to redirect to our server, man. It's awesome. So I'm super excited on what we're doing, and I can't wait to get to work over the coming months. Thanks to everybody that's been here. If it's your first time, leave a like, leave a subscribe. The comment box is right, somewhere here. I don't know exactly where I'm at on the screen, but anytime we have the actual comment box be a little bit more active, the episodes are going to be much better, and you guys do a great job. So without further ado, this is what we got. We got Coinbase filing for IPO, and they revealed their latest S1 here, and Brian Armstrong is going to be a very, very, very rich man. So we got Coinbase revealing $322 million in profits in 2020 ahead of landmark public debut. There's a lot of interesting things, and Ryan Selkis from Masari also did a good breakdown on Twitter. But we see basically Coinbase coming out and saying, here's all of our information. This is kind of in the run-up to their public listing on NASDAQ, and they're going to be able to do a lot for the crypto industry. It's kind of tough to put a gauge on how important this is to have basically a crypto company be listed on NASDAQ and have your mom, your pop, the retail investors of the world be able to say, hey, I want to get exposure to crypto. Maybe I don't want to hold Bitcoin, but oh my God, I can buy Coinbase stock. It's going to be a different way that crypto is going to be able to be exposed to maybe the broader markets here. There's a lot of good information within this article. I mean, it's a ton to break down. Coinbase saying it's seen 456 billion in lifetime trading volume. I'm going to get to a lot more of like information within these articles because we're going to stick on this story for a second. It's again tough to explain how important this is to have, you know, a revenue generating and profit generating company, a tech company, actually be listed on NASDAQ. It's a huge boon for positive sentiment, I think, in crypto when it comes to that. So love it, man. Did you have any thoughts on Coinbase before I break up some of these?
Yeah, Coinbase has been, I mean, that was my first exchange, you know. I mean, you never forget your first, and I of course still use it. But it was, you know, the easiest way for me to onboard fiat. It's been sturdy. It's never been hacked. I remember watching the Rise and Rise of Bitcoin documentary and seeing Brian Armstrong's. He was next to a bunch of other exchanges that they have not been as so lucky. A lot of other exchanges have had incidences, or they're not even around anymore. And so Coinbase just decided to do it right from the get-go. And man, they're doing well. The only issues I've ever had with Coinbase have been whenever there's a major pullback or a major pump, having issues on either, you know, they just suddenly get overloaded maybe, or they just stop transactions. I've seen it in the past. Hasn't happened as much lately, but and then maybe just the fact that sometimes I was able to transfer money instantly and sometimes I had to wait five days. So now it seems like it's always 5 days, but there was a point I remember where I was able to use that money quickly to get Ethereum and offload it to somewhere else, and now it's kind of slowed down. But either way, Coinbase, you deserve it, man. You have stuck, you know, kept on growing and have been sturdy, and so props to Brian Armstrong. What's he making, like 50 mil a year now, you said?
Something around 50 mil. And there's an important piece here, not only with the salaries, but actually with the shareholders. Mark Andreessen owns 20. God, I don't actually have it. I have the voting stake here with 14.2%, but Mark Andreessen is the biggest shareholder, essentially. So he is going to profit the most out of this listing that's coming up. Can't wait to see this kind of unfold in front of our eyes. I'm going to take you through Ryan Selkis' thoughts because he did a great job of kind of breaking this up into a Twitter thread in making it digestible for most everyone. So he says basically the four headlines to you know kick this off is as of the end of 2020, 2.8 million monthly active users, 43 million verified users, 456 billion in total trading volume, and 90 billion in assets on the platform. Now, there's a lot to kind of break down here. If you want the actual kind of thread, I can put that in the chat here for you guys. One thing to keep in mind, and it actually wasn't Ryan, but someone who commented on this thread maybe that I can take you to, is essentially Coinbase makes a lot of their revenue. I'm going to see if I can get to it. The hell of a thread here. I might have it somewhere else. Coinbase makes most of their money off the retail investments. So institutional makes up a large majority of actual trading volume, but the actual profit that they're making, the revenue that they're pulling in, is from the transaction fees by a large margin. It's like 90%, 95% of the revenue that they're bringing in is from retail investors, even though institutional investors and that volume is so strong. So I thought that was a great point that one of the commenters in the actual thread that you can see kind of here via Ryan Selkis again. So really cool stuff. I dropped that in the chat for you guys to take a look at more in detail, but awesome to see Coinbase having this much success. Some of my favorite memes are the emails from back in the day where Brian Armstrong is like emailing people in 2013 about what Coinbase is, and like they passed on the investment early. But Andreessen right now is absolutely killing it. Kate, tell me how I need to be saying this name, because K Carey's been a great lad here, and Andreessen has been killing it since Netscape. Yes, absolutely, man. So risks here that are involved. Highly volatile results, but Coinbase depends on high volatility and rising crypto asset prices. What that means is most of their revenue coming in through transaction fees from retail investors, if that cools off, if we see a 2018, if we see a extended long bear market, these valuations, the profit that they're pulling in, just the general revenue, you're going to be out of luck if you're coming to Coinbase when so much of it is dependent not on like any type of subscription, but on all of this volatility. So definitely some other things here dependent on BTC ETH, and then OPSEC, regulatory competitive banking risk, all these different things that people have to go through. Mike Finch is in the house saying Coinbase has some of the highest fees across all exchanges, definitely the best brand too. Yeah, I think those things play into it very nicely. They can charge those high fees because of that brand for sure.
It's one of those things that I say I'm not going to do traditional stocks. this one I would probably invest in.
No GameStop for you.
That was when my buddy, I introduced him to crypto in 2017. He hit me up a month ago. He goes, dude, thank you so much for getting me into crypto. And then he's like, I did pretty good. I 10x'd whatever you got me into. And then he goes, oh, but I did really well in GameStop. I got in November. I'm like, bro, you should have let me know about this, man. I had no idea about Wall Street bets back then. Now everybody knows about it. But yeah, I might get into some GameStop at some point. But Coinbase, I can definitely see that play.
Yeah, I think we're here with the Coinbase story, and I think we're going to move on to the big Tether news. But one of the interesting points that this article brought up as well, it looks like they sent this filing to the Bitcoin wallet, that's owned by Satoshi Nakamoto. So interesting little tidbit there, a little Easter egg. I love their concise kind of business ethos here. And I'll kind of read this out if I can find that. Let's see. Coinbase is a company with an ambitious vision to create more economic freedom for every person in business. Everyone deserves access to financial services that can help empower them to create a better life for themselves and their family. But today we are long from that vision. So Coinbase, there's not much else you can say here. There's a lot of people that are going to profit very nicely off this listing on NASDAQ, and we're going to get more exposure from the retail markets that want to get into crypto but aren't necessarily going to go on and buy BTC, even though Coinbase might custody that for them. So interesting stuff. I got the link there. Ryan Selkis, again, broke that down very well for those of you guys that are interested. We'll move into Tether. This is another boon for what's going on here in crypto. I love what's happened over the past week. We've got Coinbase doing this IPO, and then we have Tether getting the monkey off their back with this settlement with the New York Attorney General. $18.5 million they had to pay to get this monkey off their back. But if you guys haven't been following this story, essentially, we've got the NYAG saying your reserves are not backed up by anything, and Tether kind of saying, hey, they are essentially, and they went after Bitfinex, obviously the exchange that's tied to Tether there, but we have essentially this situation in this event where they're able to pay 18.5 mil. In a couple years, it's likely that they have to be revisiting this. Whenever they make these type of deals, it's not necessarily good forever. It's just, hey, right now we'll be settling this issue. Hopefully we can move forward. But again, TLDR, and I love take that shot if you're listening to today's episode, because I'm going to be saying it a lot because we have a ton of news. Tether had all of this back from 2018, all of this hanging over them, and it hangs over the crypto industry as well. If you have this large kind of firm that has all of these hundreds of millions in Tether that's essentially not backed, at least that's what the Attorney General was saying, then once you can make this deal, then we can kind of move forward and go into maybe a better regulatory environment and say, hey, this is kind of, we've kind of washed our hands of this. So
yeah, that's huge, right? I remember the fun of it in 2018 and the fact that they said they were backed 1-to-1 to each dollar to a dollar of Tether. And now if you go back to what they stated back in 2018 and now what they've stated, they've definitely reworded how they're saying that to a degree. Shout out to Crypto Daily for kind of breaking that down. But yeah, it's nice to see that, for now they've put essentially some duct tape on this situation.
Yeah, I'm going to read directly from the article. Tether and Bitfinex have to pay 18.5 mil in fines and perhaps more damaging and cease all trading activities in New York State. So that's another thing that we will continue to monitor. If they can't, have those trading, activities in New York State, that's obviously going to have them lose access to a lot of the things that are happening in NYC. I'm sure that there's ways to get around that, but at the same time, this is good for the industry. Same with the Coinbase IPO. We're moving forward. We're getting, regulatory constrictions essentially are loosening, and we're moving into better, better times. So I do remember that, Dimitri, our resident beard here on Layer 1 and Lads, made me watch a documentary called Decentralized Deception, and that goes way back to the day and talking about how Tether possibly fueled the last couple bull runs with funds that essentially were created out of thin air with nothing backing them. And that was essentially the argument that the NYAG was making. So really cool stuff. We're moving on in that kind of timeline. We're moving on to quick news, but I want to give a shout out here. Apparently that's how you say carrots. Okay, so we got carrots in the house talking about some comments, but it looks like carrots is saying didn't realize that Coinbase would IPO and go public as soon as next month. Definitely not. Thomas Erickson saying do Cardano is rank 3. What the hell dimension did I hop into? We've been saying that for a while. Like we've been talking about Cardano for a very long time. If you don't launch, you essentially have no expectations as far as like what can be provided, where we saw EOS launch and get its bumps and bruises, and you know where that kind of ended up. So a lot of different ways to go about it, and Charles is going about it one interesting way.
Yeah, let's get some other shout outs here to Mass Mage showing up, and we got Magwa. Welcome, a brand new lad here. If you haven't been to Lad City yet, bro, go to your browser right now, type in lads.city, boom, bring you to the front gates, get y'all hooked up in there. Thomas Erickson saying Cryptopia, RIP. Yeah, they can't all be winners. And then Juan Gales Perez, hola, amigo. How you doing, brother? And then Orlando, man, from the Big Island, saying that Coinbase was operating in Hawaii. Then we ran him out of town because Hawaii does have some regulations about crypto. I have a friend in Hawaii. Well, actually, I have multiple friends now with Orlando and Lad City. And he mentioned to me that Hawaii definitely has a little bit different regulations. As each state has different regulations. I'm in Washington State, and just recently, Binance US now is allowing me to use Binance. So, each state's just kind of a little behind. Weird how that works out.
It is weird how that works out. Wyoming's doing an absolutely great job, by the way. If you want to kind of follow what they're doing with DAOs and allowing maybe LLCs to be kind of created out of these DAOs. That's going to be really interesting to follow. Like everybody's comments, keep lighting up the chat. Benjamin saying he copped an NBA Top Shot premium pack this morning. I think I was on call with Mike this morning. We're not going to get to NFTs till later in the episode, but there were 200,000 people waiting in line for these 11,000 packs. So if you got lucky enough to get, be one of the first 11,000 after the randomization happened, congratulations to you. I'm sure there were a lot of people that were left out, myself included, but there's going to be some lucky people too. So shout out to David shout out to Benjamin for getting that, as well as Mike. Sorry, you guys are now populating that chat. It's hard to keep up. But that, we'll get to NBA Top Shot later in the episode. They're doing great things, but we will get on to quick news. If you see any other comments, Buff, definitely keep them up. Do you got one?
Oh, Mr. Bear just had one. He's barking. He's mad about Top Shot and the fact that I have not signed up yet. I can't even sign up right now. They're so overloaded, which just shows you where that's at. But again, NFTs will be coming up right after quick news. So Q, take it away on quick news.
Absolutely. Yeah, we got some comments from the previous article there that we'll get to in a second, but I do want to hit this first story. It looks like there is going to be a challenger for Grayscale and their trust, their Bitcoin trust specifically. Arca is debuting a Bitcoin trust to challenge Grayscale. It looks like the minimum investments for this is going to be, and it's going to be institutional. Minimum investments are going to be $25K, and it looks like this is going to be happening relatively quickly. They filed paperwork with the US or the SEC here recently, so this is kind of on the backs of obviously Grayscale having a lot of success. It looks like they're estimating that Grayscale actually owns 3% of all BTC in existence. Obviously, they're charging a heavy premium. We've seen a lot of the ETFs, especially in Canada, start to get passed. So we are kind of getting more institutional adoption here as we move forward, and Arca looks to kind of challenge Grayscale there as we go forward. So not sure. I mean, in the future, I think institutions are going to have a lot more opportunities and not have to pay these high premiums, but I'm not sure how long that is going to take to kind of come to fruition. So a lot of good things. Speaking of institutions, one of the biggest institutions in the entire world, the Fed, went down. Fed's payment system going down. It had to do with automated clearinghouses, and Bitcoin fans, according to this article, are rushing in, and according to your Twitter timeline. So the Fed today reported a number, and this was reported yesterday. The Fed reported a number of its services went down, meaning bank transfers were delayed. Bitcoiners, as expected, had a field day. I'm sure Pomp had something to say about this, and I can almost guarantee that it went something like Bitcoin fixes this. Niraj actually was here, and I'm sure I kind of brutalized his name, but Bitcoin actually does fix this. Is an awesome comment, but it looks like there were some like services that went down. Some servers went down at FedWire and Fed ACH, which is basically the banking services use these tools to actually allow people to transfer money. So a lot of bank transfers were put on hold for a little while. And, back up and running, obviously, much ado about nothing, maybe, but obviously people are going to rush in here and say, listen, Bitcoin, the Fed is talking about how we need to protect people and you need to be secure and all these different things. And then the Fed goes down. So just an interesting little time for that we can throw a little shade over here at the Fed.
Yeah. Fed, how many times have you gone down? Probably a bunch. How many times has Bitcoin gone down? 0. That's right.
But to your point, Coinbase went down.
Well, that's an exchange, bro. Bitcoin is so much bigger.
Truth. Thomas has a great comment here. Janet Yellen says Bitcoin is inefficient, but it doesn't go down like this and works 24/7. Yeah, I mean, when things like this, I know Mike was talking to me this morning, and we were having a conversation about the macro environment. It's interesting to see what would have happened with coronavirus and if it didn't happen and where we would be from a crypto adoption standpoint from that macro timeline. So all of these different things happening, the coronavirus showing us that a lot of the things that we take for granted, a lot of the government institutions maybe aren't as sturdy as we once thought. So a lot of interesting stuff. The more that this happens, the better for crypto. And I think a lot of the people in the comments as well as the broader community agree. So we've got Dubai. Now, this is a little bit of much ado about nothing. Dubai private equity firm to invest $4.8 billion of Bitcoin in Miami. There's not really like a solid agreement here. It's basically some, rich ass sheik in Dubai saying, hey, you've got an initiative here to push blockchain, push cryptocurrency forward in Miami. And we've definitely seen Francis Suarez, the mayor of Miami, all over this. Let me put 4.8 billion. But again, really not a lot of commitment from that side. It seems, and I'm sure money will, go into this project, but it seems more like a catch baity headline a little bit than we're seeing, more of the, I guess, confirmations there.
It is interesting with locations and cities, like trying to be the first full crypto city. Just like I was saying, each state has its own regulations. Seeing some of these cities that are going to be the first to be Doge City. I can't wait to see that one. It's going to be a very fun touristy town. Bring your Doge dogs. But yeah, it's I feel like you nailed it there. It's more of a headline to just get people in, but it's really not going down as much as it sounds like.
Yeah, IBC Group's involvement in Miami, and IBC is the group that is, I guess, helping to kind of bring a lot of this Bitcoin adoption. They're the actual group that's heading this investment. IBC Group's involvement in Miami makes sense in another way. The press release notes that real estate developer Birkin World Investments, headed by CEO Shaal Khan, approached IBC and it's over $1 billion invested in Miami real estate projects. So enabling investments into real estate utilizing BTC as a collateral will further enhance its use case as a tool to create. So we have a little bit of a tie-in, but again, we'll have to wait and see as far as what actually comes out of this. So there's a lot of good comments coming through. I know we're going to touch on some as we move into NFTs. We'll hit some of the comments on Coinbase as well as Tether before we hop in fully to the NFTs. Speaking of NFTs, my God, Beeple is absolutely killing it. Beeple is here selling 6.6 million, and this is not him to a collector. This is not through Nifty Gateway. This is a secondary market peer-to-peer sale. 6.6 million. It was originally bought, I believe, for around 1 or 1.2 million, maybe even a little bit less, around 800K, and it was resold now for 6.6. We'll get into what the painting is here in a second, or the I guess the piece, the digital piece there. We'll get into what that means in a second, or what that is. But this guy just made $660,000 on a resale. And that has to do, again, with the benefits of NFTs in distributing royalties to the actual creator. So we have Beeple, who originally sold the piece for whatever have you. It looks like I'm going to try to find it. I think he possibly sold this piece for 582,000. I'm trying to find the original sell piece, but it looks like it was part of a bundle, and then this singular piece went for 6.6, meaning that he got royalties of 10% on this for doing nothing. And that's what's so awesome about NFTs. It's one of the main pitches that you'll go to IPs and say, hey, not only are you receiving funds initially when you first hit this sale, but you're getting those royalties baked in on chain in some cases. In some cases, you need the marketplace to actually agree to this as well, but you're seeing that 10% royalty hit.
Now, does he get 10% every resell?
Yes.
Wow. Make a live off of just that one piece.
And it's really, Left House is saying it's changing the game across the board. It really is. We talked with Ben Morrow on NFT Live on Wednesday. He has an upcoming drop here on Flow in the Vive marketplace. And he was saying how much of a difference, and it's really mirroring the whole, I guess, ethos and kind of like movement that's coming into NFTs right now. It really is changing the game on how people perceive value and value capture and ownership of assets and what that means. Because before, you weren't seeing all of the value capture. You were creating the value, but you weren't necessarily seeing it over and over and over again, because this was just value that Beeple created. If someone wants to pay 6, 10, 20 million for Beeple, then by all means do it. And that goes to show basically, the value capture that NFTs provide, which is I'm actually receiving royalties and people are happy to do that. So a lot of interest. Go ahead.
This is not going to be ignored, man. So many artists are going to be hearing these stories and their minds are going to be blown and they'll never look back to the old model. Get ready, because they are coming. Yeah,
absolutely, man. And we've got some people joining the house that I'll get to here in a second. But to Buffalo's point, I think a lot of what Beeple has done with being at Christie's, which is another story we'll hit here in a second, I mean, it is leading to people kind of hearing about what's happening and hearing about these royalties and hearing about the high, sale numbers. And it's leading people to this space and to Clubhouse and to Twitter and asking, what the hell are these NFTs? How do I get involved? So we got a lot of cool comments in the house. Looks like Ken Bozak is in the house. He's saying NFT for the win, bros. GB is in the house. He's saying morning all. And it's happy Friday to everybody that's here in the comments, man. We are excited. Thank you, lads. I don't know if you heard that on Buffalo's. You probably did. I'm sure you did. But anyways.
Set that one up.
Yeah, we've got a bunch more to get to. We got NFTs and DeFi, but definitely making it through our rounds here on Quick News. I got a couple comments that I want to hit back in I believe about 10 minutes ago as it related to Coinbase and a couple others. David was saying, not sure if unbacked stablecoins are safe or if it's good for the industry. I don't think it is. A slap on the wrist with 18 million is a joke. He was again referring to that Tether story. That is fair. I mean, 18 mil doesn't sound like a lot when they're moving hundreds of millions of dollars. Technically, it's not unbacked. I mean, if they're settling with the SEC here and there's no findings and they're moving on and they're closing this portion of the story, maybe it's not unbacked, right? They paid off some of these things as well. Recently, they paid off a loan, to another firm, and so maybe you have the narrative there that it isn't unbacked. And certainly with the closing of the actual case with this 18 mil, maybe we can just move forward. So Mass Major saying, how are regulations going to keep up with something that moves so fast? I think this was in relation to the Fed being down, as well as a couple other things with the Tether story as well. That's a fair point. I mean, how are they going to, without automation and without a lot of these other things that are happening, with regulation, it's like, how do you even get down to NFTs? How do you make it down to social tokens? You're just starting to settle with the biggest assets in the space, and this took you 3 to 4 years. So in 3 to 4 years, where are we going to be in crypto? So,
God, I'll be like 100 by then. That's just crazy.
All right, so we have 46 of you guys in the house. All-time high is going to be 116. Get the word out. Get people in the channel. Let's make this episode an awesome time for you guys. And we got the last quick news that I'm going to hit, and then we'll move on to some more comments as well as NFTs. But I guess we're kind of in NFTs right now. Crypto art. And this is just an update basically on the Christie sale that's happening with Beeple. So it looks like first ever sale. Let's see if I can't get to it. Christie's actually has this updated, guys, on their website as 2.2 million. Again, they're accepting ETH for payment. I'm going to see if I can get this story ready. Christie's. And so Beeple is obviously selling the first 5,000 days and all of these pieces. So Beeple does a art piece every single day. And this is what this collage is made of, is all of the days combined since he first started kind of making these art pieces. And it's going for a bid of 2.4 million. And this is at Christie's, one of the most popular auction houses in the world. It's straight in New York City. And they're selling this piece right now. And it's available for ETH, but also USD. And it looks like this bid is in USD. So for 2.4 million, that's just kind of an update on where the Beeple sale on Christie's is right now.
Place your bids.
Absolutely. Okay, let's see. I want to get to some of these comments. Thomas is saying, remember, fiat is a 50-year experiment. Bitcoin is 12 years old. Imagine where we will be when years go by. Definitely a great comment there. Let's see. Massmage says, I'm working on my own social token that users can claim in-game items, get shoutouts on social media, and thinking of adding Algo Vault, but need to look further into regulations before I do that. Already seeing some volume on people claiming rewards. Great to hear. Massmage is a great lad that we've had here for a while, so awesome to see. Easy's in the house. Appreciate my man Easy. And XPlow, I'm going to throw this your way, Buffalo. What is up with the SEC investigating Elon Musk over Doge tweets? True or false news? Do we know anything about Elon Musk and Doge and what the hell is going on there?
I know that yesterday at a Microsoft shoot, we had a fire alarm, so everybody had to go outside. And as we were sitting outside, one of the guys turns to me and he goes, that damn Elon Musk, he has too much power. He is manipulating the markets. It is irresponsible. And I was sitting there going, I mean, I see your point, but, you know, Doge is more for fun, bro, so don't take it so serious here. But, yeah, I mean, it is true. His tweets have been definitely impacting the markets, and, you know, we'll see what the SEC can do with that. But I don't know for sure what's going on because I'm not with the SEC.
So my first question is, do you work with old lumberjacks?
I do. A lot of them. They're disgruntled.
Got it. Yeah, it sounded like it. I guess my second question would then be, not question, but more kind of statement here would be, I do agree with what you just said, with Elon having control over the markets. But where I think, you know, I need to make the comment is that's only going to continue. Chamath and Elon have had a significant amount of sway over the markets here over the past. I mean, we've only seen what Wall Street Bets is doing here in Reddit as well. And that's only going to continue. So I don't really know unless they come super hard down on Elon. And I think one of his tweet responses is, I hope they are. That was literally his tweet back to these rumors. So we don't actually know exactly if this is true or false to answer your question specifically. But we do know that rumors are out there. And Elon actually tweeted in response to these saying, I hope they do. So he's definitely feeling himself lately, and he is manipulating the markets, man. It's just wide open right now, and I think most people in crypto are gonna lean on Elon Musk's side, but he is doing a little bit like what my man McAfee was doing back in the day, John McAfee. He's manipulating markets, obviously bigger markets, but some would say that's actually even more immoral. So we give Elon a pass because he's kind of our dude in one sense or another. So
yeah, agreed.
All right, so I've got Xbox saying he doesn't have freedom of speech. Xbox saying, doesn't he have freedom of speech? He is American. Yeah, but that's once you start talking about markets, it starts to get a little bit jumbled, right? It's not necessarily when it has, you know, effects on the broader market. I don't think it's viewed as freedom of speech in that sense. Looks like Mass Majors is tweeting a meme of yourself really market manipulation, though. When you're as popular as Elon is, I think you do see some of that. You have more responsibility as to what you're saying. Unfortunately, that's just the way of the world. A lot of things that happen when someone that's not famous at the time, they can tweet something, it not have any effect. And then when you 5-10 years down the line, when you see this come and bite them in the ass, it's because of their status in society. I think your responsibility kind of changes as your status increases there.
Yeah. David Elion says right here, Wall Street is just jealous. He is better at manipulating and being honest about it. New culture and props. So, I feel that too. Wall Street's getting a little jealous.
I completely agree with that statement. There was always manipulation. It's just now it's Twitter influencers instead of people behind the scenes. The cloak and dagger things that you would have seen on Wall Street potentially. Thomas Erickson is saying authoritarianism disguised as political correctness, wokeness, cancel culture. All right, we are not going to go down that rabbit hole today, Buffalo. Easy in Crypto is saying much love, lads. About to jump in the car, but we'll be listening. Great to have Easy. Great to have 57 of you guys in the house as we move on into NFTs. We kind of already did with this Beeple news, and congrats to Beeple, by the way. He's absolutely killing it. Clubhouse is seeing a lot of NFT news, and I think, to be honest, it's a little bit much in my opinion. Like every other kind of room there is NFTs, but if you're interested in seeing kind of this movement live and what's happening with Beeple, what's happening with Mark Cuban, with NBA Top Shot, with Gary Vee, all of this is happening in real time on Clubhouse if you are interested in that kind of stuff. All right, so first story, MotoGP Ignition coming to Flow. So this is another brand, I believe, than F1 Delta Time, but it's under the Animoca Brands and Yatsu kind of umbrella there, and they are coming to Flow. They are moving this interoperability from Ethereum to Polygon, formerly Matic, now to Flow, and they're going to use this racing game here and bring it to that ecosystem. So from this article, and this is Play to Earn Online, Robert does a great job over there, so definitely check him out. Animoca Brands has announced that MotoGP Ignition, the next game in the Rev ecosystem, will come to the Flow blockchain. The first content for competitive management and collectible games will go on sale, alpha leak, from March 26th, 2021. Gamers can purchase their MotoGP collectibles using credit card payments or the Rev token. So interesting stuff here. Is the Rev token going to be interoperable with the Flow blockchain, and how that works out in real time? There's a little bit more I can get to probably within this article here, but what do you have to kind of break down here, Buff?
Sounds like everybody's starting to go with the Flow, man. The $20 stable coin as the streets are filling up with red. It's just it sounds like Flow's getting bigger and bigger by the minute, and it's very interesting right now watching a lot of people that are getting impatient, or sorry, not people but projects getting impatient with Ethereum and jumping over to Polygon and Flow and a lot of these other networks. And it's curious to see how much longer a lot of these guys are going to hold on till 2.0 hits in.
Yeah, I think Easy touched on this last night, and it was based on a conversation we were having of Ethereum's community not being so much of a, I guess, a block on kind of the sentiment. How can I rephrase this? A lot of times when something comes up like an ETH killer, for example, and you can claim that Flow is definitely going to be quote unquote ETH killer, the ETH community kind of lashes out, and you don't have that right now within the Flow sentiment. I feel like a lot of the Ethereum community is saying, wow, look at what we have here, and how can we make this better and not attack it essentially. I think we see a lot of that. Guys, let us know as we move into NFTs what you want us to talk about. Love to kind of get your guys' take on what we have here right in front of us, but also things that we maybe don't have on the docket today. You guys can break down a little bit here in the comment chat. So always better when you guys are commenting along. Appreciate you joining us up to this point. Kind of breaking down the rest of the story here. MotoGP Ignition will allow fans to own and trade digital collectibles from their favorite motorbikes on the Flow blockchain. Ultimately, the game will offer two modes, a digital collectible platform and a racing management system. The first one offering collectible digital cards, latter adding bikes, riders as NFT collectibles. So good stuff. I mean, Rev has done a great job. Animoca Brands has their fingers in pretty much everything within the NFT ecosystem right now. So I am watching to see if Rev will make it onto the Flow blockchain, how quickly that is going to take part.
I feel like there's a transition right now, right? So like DeFi has been blowing up, and now NFTs are starting to trend real hot, and just under the radar a little bit are all these gaming, companies that are coming in here and setting up, and now they're choosing their different blockchains that they can run, so they're not going to run into these frictions or walls like with Ethereum. And so I feel like right now, in the next couple months, man, gaming is going to start kicking up, and I'm ready. I'm really ready.
I mean, I guess the only thing I'll say here is the gaming industry is bigger than the art, collectible, and all the other industries that are seeing a little bit of growth within the NFT space right now. Gaming industry is bigger than all of those combined. So I'm super, it's going to take a little bit longer to set up that infrastructure because you have actual games and not maybe something that's I don't want to say easy, because a lot of times these are hard to create, but certainly relative to creating an entire game, creating a collectible is not as hard. So once that's out there, man, there's no putting the genie back in the bottle with gaming though. So, all right. So I've got Gala Games moving to Binance Smart Chain. Looks like based on this article, they're going to be doing a lot of things with their NFTs and actually moving over and allowing kind of that growth within Binance Smart Chain. This is interesting. We brought up Binance a bunch on Layer 1 Live over the past 2 weeks. They've seen a tremendous amount of increase in price over the past, to BNB. We've seen a tremendous amount of increase in that price, but we do have a lot of people and thoughts on what's going on within BSC and this Binance ecosystem. Some are going to claim it's centralized. A little bit of me thinks that it's okay in a sense to have games be a little bit more centralized. There's less volume going on, maybe, and maybe not volume, but value going on within NFTs than maybe a DeFi transaction. So you don't need as much security. You don't need as much decentralization. So that might be why you see a lot of these NFT projects moving over to these other ecosystems that offer maybe less security, maybe less decentralization, but more scalability, more transactions. I think that's what you're seeing.
All those microtransactions that happen within games too, right? They have to be able to run so many at a time, and they can't run into these transaction costs that are going to 10x in a day. It's just not feasible. I gotta say, man, Binance. I got into crypto June 8th, 2017. I remember the day. And Binance, I think, what was it, 4 cents in October of 2017, and it just hit over 330 in the last couple of weeks.
I think it hit like 400, man.
Did it? Jesus, I gotta get my head back in the game. It's just crazy.
There's a lot of great comments coming through. Ken Bozak's coming through with the 5 stars, so appreciate the 5 stars. I don't know if YouTube can see that, but please, give me a Twitter check mark for that 5 star. Mag's asking us about Alien Worlds. Alien Worlds struck me as something that you would need to be super involved in. This is kind of like my thesis on NFTs. If you're not going to be able to be super involved in a project, it's tough to actually go deep and kind of understand everything that's going on with each project. You have to actually pick. So we're not that much involved in Alien Worlds. We did cover the sales. We had the team on multiple times, and they provided us great information. But as far as being privy on Alien Worlds, you would almost have to dive deep. Their ecosystem is so huge that it's tough to actually provide just a general overview for a lot of these projects. So definitely not Alien Worlds, but we can cover that on NFT Live. We'll be doing that next week. One of the things we'll be doing with NFT Live shortly is providing you guys more content there. So, and NFTs is obviously blown up, and we want to cover as much as we can. Crypto Media is saying the NFT space is going crazy. Yep, that is the case. So I'm going to move on here from Binance Smart Chain, but basically I'll cover this last piece. This was actually from Gala Games and their Twitter thread. They said, "We believe you should hold NFTs however you choose. They're saying, and later in this article, it says earlier this month, the blockchain gaming company announced their plans to integrate Flare as a layer 2 solution. Now it looks like Gala Games will be running their services on multiple blockchains. So back-to-back stories here where ecosystems are trying to move into multiple chains and kind of lay out that interoperability. That should be a wrap here. We're going to see more from Binance Smart Chain, likely with NFTs. There was an interesting story that, and I've been leaning more bullish on Binance Smart Chain than maybe most people would like, but one of the things that popped up via NFTs on BSC that I don't have the story for here, but we'll touch on quickly, is the the Pepes, or the CryptoPunks, actually. I'm sorry. CryptoPunks kind of popped up on Binance Smart Chain. They modeled themselves after like a more egalitarian CryptoPunks than the initial launch on Ethereum back in, I believe, like 2016. So it was essentially like a fork of CryptoPunks that happened on Binance Smart Chain. That was the first misstep for me with what's happening with BSC. It's like don't just like completely copy a project and just launch on another chain. That's a no-go for me. DeFi maybe, but when you're talking about NFT projects, when you're talking about social tokens, there's more of a soul that's involved. So you can't just, fork something and expect, the sentiment to be the same. It's definitely it was definitely a big story at the time, the fact that BSC was trying, or a project on BSC was trying to do that.
Yeah, I get worried that this NFT craze might turn into almost like the ICO craze, right? Where you're just getting this massive copying and creating this scarcity and FOMO. And I mean, we'll see. We'll see how this all progresses. I really hope that a lot of these projects take time to create, absolute value with their projects and the people that invest in them. Yeah.
Yeah, we got a lot of comments coming through talking about wax NFTs. Looks like some Talos comments as well. Manila Crypto saying Binance Punks. Yes, that was it. CryptoLander saying there was a lot of backlash on crypto Twitter about Binance Punks. And Xbox saying gonna fork it, at least buy it a dinner and drink first.
Yeah, my man.
Listen, that might be the route, right? Maybe you work with a project to bring it onto that chain, and you kind of have two. Although that's we're getting into the nitty gritty there, maybe another time. But great comment there. Axie Infinity, Axie Infinity's taking a little bit time out of trolling Ronin for not mentioning them on the 137 post to bring you land gameplay to become competitive. It looks like land gameplay within this Lunacia here is going to become a little bit more competitive than just the NPC enemies that have existed up to this point. So competitive gameplay between alliances or kingdoms will be just one of many gameplay modes here in Axie Infinity. So a lot of cool stuff. I'm glad they're bringing PvP to Axie here. Interesting kind of movement here as we see the NFT space continuously kind of increase in popularity. I'm interested to see where Axie kind of finds themselves, because they were the king for a long time when it comes to user base and all these different things. I'll be following that very, very closely to see where they kind of go here to kind of retain that crown or try to get it back.
We got some alpha dropped right now. As Modai says, Axie also announced free starter Axies coming to get people on board. Love that.
I think they're doing something with grants there where players are able to put up their Axies for or more experienced players are able to do that for the newer players. So really cool stuff, man. Great drop there. All right, this is coming from Fuse. You have to, and we did a lot of cool calculations before the episode buff about the Fuse NFT token that is worth about 381 at the time of this article. Fuse NFT was worth 461, so it was a little bit more. But you need to own 1,000 Fuse NFT tokens to get some of these different potential drops. So it's a lot like what Pranksy's doing with his loot boxes, but you're essentially holding 1,000 of these tokens to get access to these different drops. The first drop being this, and we talked about this on NFT Live a little bit, but you're essentially being able to get an NFT that allows you access to beer pong as well as a couple other things with Post Malone. So a little bit bro-ish, but nothing wrong with a good old good old Post Malone and all
How's
that.
your beer pong skills, huh? How do you think you'd hold up against Post Malone?
I think I do pretty well. I'm not necessarily an amateur there. I think I'm pretty good there at some beer pong.
I suck at it. Just being honest. I do.
So WVM is saying, what are your thoughts on ETH NFT pools like NFT 20? Those are only going to increase in value. We're going to touch on nftfi here in a second. That got some funding to collateralize your NFTs. And the NFT and DeFi merging is going to be something that I'm keeping my eye on. And that's only going to be something that increases over time. Listen, you want exposure to different services for the assets you own, whether that be DeFi assets or NFT assets. The ability to put those up something for like something like collateral, or getting exposure to multiple NFTs or one NFT that you can't afford, like the B20 drop. But I believe the NFT 20 is an index of different NFTs, and you're able to invest in that one asset specifically. That is a derivative of those multiple assets. So I like all the DeFi NFT synergy. I think that's only going to increase. I think there's a lot of innovation to be found within DeFi, and that will only increase over time into the NFT space. So Mass Mage has get Ronan to the beer pong thing. I would love to see that. I don't know if Ronan. I gotta be honest. I don't know the last time Ronan played some beer pong. I'd love to get his answer there. But definitely some cool things going on with Post Malone and Ronan to be found shortly. That's the alpha drop. All right. So Benchmark leads 50 million round for digital soccer collectible platform Sorare. So Sorare has kind of been doing a lot of things within the football and American soccer kind of thing here. So they've been working with a lot of different companies or different teams essentially. So I believe, let me see, Juventus is one of their big ones. I've seen a lot like AC Milan on their platform, but they're essentially working with soccer and these different teams to bring NFT collectibles there. So interesting stuff here. We have Gary V. We got Alexis Ohanian, Antoine Griezmann getting in on funding this project, and they're doing a $50 million round. So not a light load of money either.
Doesn't it feel cool to be into NFTs before Gary V and Mark Cuban?
It does. It does. They definitely are doing their part to get it kind of. Doing their part to kind of get the different communities on board with this as well. So definitely appreciate all the work they're doing, but it is kind of a crazy time. All right. I am going to drink some more of my coffee because I am completely off my rocker right now when it comes to NFTs. I'm going to hit nftfi, and then we are moving into DeFi, and then going to close out the episode. A lot of great comments. Someone's commenting that I am a Blues fan. I am a Chelsea fan. The UFC NFTs are coming. Yes. Cannot wait for that.
Same here.
And we will continue the episode here. I only brought this nftfi story up because I loved the backers. Andrew Steinwall was a part of this, as well as Animoca Brands. I think we had Sebastian Bourget on. He was an angel investor in this project. Basically, what they're doing is collateralizing NFT or using NFTs for collateralized loans. So putting up, like we just talked about, with DeFi kind of coming into NFTs, you'll essentially be able to say, hey, I have this piece, it's worth X amount, and I can use that for loans to then kind of use in different ecosystems and get a loan there. So awesome stuff. I can kind of go to this article saying we are funded.
You know what I love about NFTs? It's endless. The creativity you can utilize to program the NFT. For example, my first NFT wasn't a piece of art. It was an X node for a wallet holding VeChain. And it was programmed to make sure that if I held a certain amount of VeChain in my wallet, I would get a higher yield of the Vitho, which is the gas on the VeChain network. I thought that was really interesting, and it kind of made me go, damn. And then all of a sudden I see all this artwork and all these just collectibles in the NFT space. And then, of course, CryptoKitties was the first thing that really kind of popped off. And So when people come into this space, the first thing they think of is, like Top Shot right now, right? But there's so much more with the utility of NFTs that I think we're just scraping the surface. I mean, there's going to be some use cases down the road that people are going to like, damn, why didn't we think of that?
I will say that the innovation that's going to come from DeFi and earning NFTs is going to be absolutely crazy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. All right, so I've got some Griezmann comments. I've got some UFC NFT comments. I've got some Juventus. I said Juventus. I don't say Juventus. I'm not a big, Serie A guy, so please school me on the actual piece there. James is saying, what do you guys think about the sharp increase of CryptoPunks? I'm anticipating a crash. I think you're talking about Binance Punks there, and the increase there. It was an interesting debate because there were a lot of people commenting that the increase in Binance Punks is going to make the regular CryptoPunks a little bit more valuable, and there was some debates there. Who knows? I think Binance Punks is going to be a fad, but it's definitely something to keep an eye on. All right, so I've got the last piece on this article. The 890K round includes investments from top VC firms with deep experience in the NFT and DeFi space, including Coin Fund, the Lao, Animoca brands. And then along with this, they brought on a lot of cool angel investors, which is why I think there's a good chance that this project, Not Investment Advice, is going to do pretty well. A lot of awesome angel investors here. Roham, we got Sebastian Bourget, we got from the Sandbox, and we have Andrew Steinwald there as well. So if enough of these big players are getting involved, then there's something going on. So definitely wanted to bring you nftfi really early on in this project, but definitely a lot of cool stuff and a lot of cool backers there. All right, so I've got the last bit here. I've got the DeFi exchange 1 inch expanding to Binance Smart Chain. I've pulled up Binance a bunch here over the last 2 weeks. I'm not trying to show them a lot. I'm okay with what they're doing. I kind of like what they're doing, but I'm not like the biggest Binance stan that you ever meet. I know that it's centralized. I know that there's security risks, but it doesn't seem like a lot of people care about what's happening with this centralization and this security and the sentiment around Binance. It looks like, when you have a big DEX aggregator like 1 inch kind of coming on board and saying, hey, we need more. One, we want to access this ecosystem, right? When you see all the pancake swaps, the bakery swaps, and the volume that they're doing, 1 inch wants to access that ecosystem and wants to aggregate those DEXs because that helps their business model. But also, we don't want to be dealing with transaction fees. It's been talked about ad nauseum, but we see 1 inch moving over there into that ecosystem. Probably a boon for that token as well. Let me see what it is doing off of this announcement. All right, so it looks like the whole cryptocurrency market is kind of falling, but we are up a little bit over 5% on 1 inch. So it's not really dipping that much, even though the market's kind of falling there.
1 inch. They owe me some free 1 inch. Come on now, where's my money? I did the requirements. I know other people did too. 1 inch. I've been calling you. Pick up your phone. Give me some of every money. That internet money.
Yeah, you and Loadmaster need to kind of get together there and make sure that you get paid. All right, I promise to God I am not a Binance shill, but Binance is launching Solana staking, offering yield up to 43% on their platform. So we know a lot of these platforms like Binance, like Coinbase, and different exchanges where a lot of these user funds are being able to be stored and custodied. It's a feature to say, hey, you're my constituents, or you have assets on my platform. I can actually get you yield and therefore come over to my platform. So a lot of stuff happening there. Obviously, Bison Trails was ate up by Coinbase as well, and just different exchanges are going to offer different services. So they're offering up to 43% staking on Binance there via Solana. So that is the story. Solana's doing some cool things, being that quote-unquote ETH killer. But we will move on, I guess. What's your layer 2 shill? Don't even get me started here.
Okay,
Listen, not investment advice. Polygon is my layer 2
you go.
shill.
There you go.
Me and Loadmaster, I think, and a bunch of other lads maybe that were in the chat, were in on the Avagachi bridge to Matic at the time, which is now Polygon. Wow. QuickSwap has done absolutely amazing things. Yep. You know, Bait Shop Billy saying quick. Yep. You know I'm on it. I will shill them all day. Not investment advice. Do your own research. I own Quick. All the different disclaimers that need to kind of follow that statement.
So I have a goal for March. My goal is to get into something that's brand spanking new. So if anybody has anything, go ahead and shill it right now in the comment section. I'll check it out after the show.
Interesting. Buff is getting us in trouble with the SEC here as we do.
Is that what that is? I just want to research. I don't want to buy yet.
Oh, no buying's happening. It's just research.
Yeah, research.
Strictly research. Okay.
Yeah. Put the gun down.
Okay. David has a great comment. CFI on Binance Smart Chain. Yes, I should have mentioned that. A lot of this stuff is CFI. It's not necessarily DeFi. So on that spectrum, it's definitely leaning that way. EOS Power Up was interesting. I didn't touch on that, but they saw some upgrades to the software, upgrades to their tokenomics. Sorry for those of you here that use that term. They saw some upgrades and were able to get that multi-sig process figured out, and they pushed that Power Up forward. Maybe I'll cover that on Next Layer 1 Live on Monday. I can touch on
talk about
Power Up.
EOS, huh?
Break my heart, EOS. Breaking my heart. Okay, we've got the closing kind of statements here and kind of the summary of what's happening in Lads, what's going to happen over the next week, and we will move forward with that. So what is going on in Lad City here, Buff, over the next coming days until next week?
Every day from here on out, we got content, events, free Lads tokens, NFTs on the line for game nights, and we got poker. We got so much going on, you guys. All you got to do is really just follow us after the show back to Lad City. And guess what? We made it so much easier. Go to your browser, type in lads, LADZ, .city, CITY, because you need to. You just need to, folks. Come on in. If you're new, if this is the first time you've ever watched us and you're like, what is this guy rambling on about? This is Layer 1 Live. Happens on Mondays and Fridays. Got another great show called NFT Live, which is on Wednesdays, and we might actually start bringing you 2 NFT Lives a week. I may have just released a little bit too much there, but we're gonna, we're feeling this out here. This is a process. We're trying to get more members. Now, speak of more members here, we've got some job openings. You want a job in crypto? You want to quit your job in the IRL? Well, come on board to Lads right now. We've got 3 big time positions that we are looking for some special peeps to come on and help us. Are you a video editor? Well, come talk to the Buffalo, because I am building an in-house production team for Lads that is going to take the show content for every show, all the shows under the Lads umbrella, and we are going to scale it up to the point where ESPN is going to be looking at us going, damn, we need to start looking at that model. And we're going to take it to that level. So if you're a video editor and you love crypto, and you also love dogs, well, that last requirement was put in by my dog, sorry. But if you like crypto and you can video edit, reach out to me, because we are looking for a video editor. Now we're also looking for a producer. Are you a social butterfly? Are you in a lot of different crypto communities? Do you know a lot of the people who are running the projects and feel like you could reach out to them, have them come onto our shows, and we can do an exchange or sponsorship segment? Let us know, because we have some positions right now for people that are very just day in, day out. They're in the crypto. This is what they do. Why not get paid for what you do by connecting the dots and connecting us to other projects that are emerging in the space? There's only so much time in the day, and we only have so many hours to do our own research, that it's time for the Lads to start having opportunities to really grow with us and gain with us. So those are the 2 big positions right now, as a video editor and as a producer for any or all of the shows that we are doing on Lads. And then the last one's a marketer. So a lot of the content that we do is live right now, but as we're working so hard to get the show going, we don't have a lot of time to promote, let alone promote the subjects that we're talking about. And we love the communities that are out there. When we're talking about them or doing an in-depth report about them, we want them to know that. If they have their main CEO coming on board, we want them to know that. And so having somebody to help market that and bring up the numbers would be amazing. So those are 3 big positions right now: video editor, video producer, and a video marketer. If you're any one of those interests you, please reach out to us after the show. Go to lads.city. You can find Crypto Buffalo, myself, and of course the godfather of Lads, Nifty Q. We'll be in there all day and night, and would love to chat with you guys, because we are hiring right now, and those positions will fill up quickly, because it's going to be a really good time and a lot of fun. And I mean, right now it's time. It's time for us to grow. It's time for more shows. It's time for more content. It is time to just really get going. And everybody knows NFTs is just blowing up. Everybody's talking about it. And we feel like we can put on more. We can do more here in Lads. So if you're very interested in coming in, talk to us. And we'd love to chat with you about your experience and how we can get you in. That said, if you're very brand new here, this is the Lads network. And right now, this is Layer 1 Live, like I just said earlier. And this is all supported by the Lads token, which is a social token that launched at the end of November. And if you want to get your free Lads tokens, all you got to do is come to lads.city, come into our city, set up your roll wallet, and we give you your free Lads token for free. It's that easy, and then you'll be ranked up as a nomad. And if you store your Lads and keep storing them up, you can get all the way up to a noble. Shout out to all you nobles right now. You are the true OGs of our city. You guys get a nice purple username. Everybody bows to you when you walk down the streets of Lad City. It is an honor to share a table with any of you at dinner. The nobles keep it real, and if you guys are trying to move up, and you know, for me, it's just one of those things that it's a really just when I see people staking and holding the Lads token, for me, it means day in day out, I want to make the content on Lads better, and you know, that whole ramble is just. It's the passion of Lads, and I feel like this week I haven't been with you guys, so I feel like next week I am turning and burning. So if any of you guys want to come on board, now is the time, because March we are going to do some spring cleaning. We're going to get this popping. So that's my little ramble there, Q, about Lads. What you got, brother?
No, that was a great time, and while Buffalo was kind of explaining the thought process behind how Lad City works and what we're looking for as it comes to maybe anybody that's got some experience. I pulled up Lad City. This is kind of a look at our Discord, and some people. It looks like Crypto Chris, Crypto Lander. I think I had GB kind of pop in there. That is definitely our main square, our main chat within Lad City there, where everyone kind of gets involved. But as you can see, NFT district, trading district, DeFi district, gaming district, all of these different areas are available after you acquire a certain amount of Lads, 500 and 1,000 to be exact. Definitely doing different things for our nobles as well. I think the nobles and miners have gotten some NFT rewards here over the past month. I believe the miners themselves were able to get the Street Fighter pack reward, as well as the mining rewards they get from being a Uniswap provider there. So a lot of great things happening. I think Buffalo does a great job of breaking this stuff down. I've got the survey that I need people to fill out that is pinned before I drop these rewards. And Mass Major's asking, who do I contact for a collaboration and partnership with Lads? You're looking at them. Contact me or Buffalo or Ronan about this, and make sure that you kind of bring any tribute that you have for us. Don't bring any buffaloes to Buffalo. Yeah, see, llamas might work.
Look at this, man. He's in there. Llama's sleeping right now, but he'll wake up here in a little bit and he'll see that Asmodai gif right there. Llama is our head moderator in Lad City, by the way. If you come in and you're having issues and you come across the Llama 6666, that's the username. He is the head moderator. The man puts his heart and soul into this day in, day out. Love you, brother, and hope you're sleeping well.
Awesome, man. Well, that survey is going to be done here over the next, I would say, 2 or 3 hours. So make sure that you guys fill that out. The top 3 impactful will get Lads. A lot of cool things happening in Lad City. This is going to be a run, I believe our first run of like 5 days straight. So we have Layer 1 Live today. We are obviously running Lads Radio right after this. So you guys hop in right now. I'm going to pull this up right now, guys. I'm pulling Lads Radio up while we speak. This is the first time ever that that's happening. All the way up. That didn't work. I'm going to continue to do this manual process, guys. Bear with me. We're innovating here. It happens. All right, I'm bringing Lads Radio up. We have Lads Game Night right after, well, not right after Lads Radio. We have it at 7 p.m. Eastern. We're playing some Valheim. We have Lads Poker on Saturday. We got a Clubhouse event on Sunday. And then we have Layer 1 Live on Monday. Follow me here. And then
That's
Tuesday,
right.
possibly we do have NFT Live. So I think this is like 6 days in a row of just boom. We're going to blow it out of the water for you guys.
Yeah. Now, we don't have a traditional roadmap, right? But each time we go live, we like to give you guys where we're at and where we're headed. And one of our main goals is definitely to bring more NFT coverage, because it is blown up. There's so much we can do, more in-depth reporting, bring in live guests on. And the other thing that we're doing right now is really working on the ranking system. So for a lot of you holding Lads right now, we're really trying to develop that more so that you can either grow up more than the noble. And, that's something that we will announce down the road. And It's one of those things that as a community, we like to be transparent. And we also know that we can grow the more we get to know who's in our city right now, because lads grows with lads. You guys are the value, not the token. And so a lot of you guys that are coming in right now understand that this is endless. The opportunities here and the potential that you have as an individual is endless. So reach out to us. Let's have some one-on-one conversations about what it is that brought you into crypto, what it is that brought you to Lad City, and what you're trying to do in the space. Trying to be an investor? Are you trying to just jump into the gaming and collecting NFTs? Or are you trying to build a project? Are you a developer? Are you a coder? What are you doing, man, that we can help you help us? Really, honestly, it's one of those things that I feel like it's been a solo journey for me in crypto until I came across Lads, until I came across NFT Live and Layer 1. And since then, man, we are growing a crypto tribe here, because our saying is our vibe, our tribe. If you got that vibe, well, you're home, because you got the tribe right here for us. So come on in to Lad City. As you can see, it's a lot of fun. It is very diverse in the subject matter too. We have a lot of different channels, a lot of alpha. Every day is very active in there, and it's only getting better. And if you're somebody that's like a moderator too, we definitely need to help Llama build out a couple more moderators, because I feel like Lad City's gonna have a pretty big growth spurt here in a little bit. And we want to definitely support all time zones too. That is definitely something that we are starting to realize is, we want multiple game nights, right, for different time zones. So a lot of you guys that are missing the show right now and you're watching this in replay, don't worry. We are working on making sure that we can cover the time zones, because Lad City doesn't go to sleep 24/7, 365. We want to keep producing content for everybody around the world. Eventually, we're getting minds to the UTC time zone of just being able to share the time correctly with all you guys.
Absolutely. Great breakdown from Buffalo. It's great to have you back, man. I know you were grinding at IRL. I know that was a tough time, but you gotta do what you gotta do, and we do have Buffalo back here in Lad City. It's gonna be awesome. We have Ronan on Sunday night as well, and all the things that we just talked about. So I am gonna drop the reward link now, and we're gonna get into. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to drop the reward link in Lad's radio chat. That's what's going to happen. We're all headed over. Sometimes we drop it on the YouTube chat. People start to report and do all these negative things. I don't give a shit, okay? So you guys head on over to Lad City. I'll drop the rewards link there. I know we've been having trouble with roll. It's going to be in the Lad's radio chat. So you guys should be able to see that. If you have issues, let us know in main chat, and we will get that done. But the last thing I want to show is look at this dude's pull. I'm gonna kind of zoom in a little bit. Buffalo, you're not gonna be able to see exactly what I'm looking at. This dude pulled from this is NBA Top Shot, obviously doing crazy volume, all that good stuff. We've got this guy pulling Kevin Durant, Zion Williamson, LeBron James, two Lucas, and Tyler Hero in a single freaking
That's a $9 pack right there.
Well, I think it's like a $99 pack, but still.
Yeah.
That guy's pulling crazy stuff today. We had a great show today, and I'm definitely excited to continue bringing you guys content. And we have like a full 5-6 day slate ahead of us. Can't wait for all that, man. So, gonna drop the reward link in Lad City in Lads Radio. It's gonna be right up there in the radio chat for you guys stopping by here today. If you don't know what that means, just hop in or maybe type lads.city into your browser, or hit the Discord link below, and you can get the rewards for stopping by here today. Otherwise, man, great episode.
That's it. We got Lads Radio right after this. I start a 10-minute timer. I go walk Mr. Bear real quick. I come back. I start playing music. We start doing interviews. I start throwing out Lads tokens. It is a good time. Right now, we can't have festivals and music gatherings in the real life for a lot of the spots around the world, but we can all come together today and listen to some music. And for some of you guys that are higher up, you can request songs. I will play them right away. And then later on tonight, we got game night. Valheim. Get the game. Play with the Buffalo. I'm addicted. I haven't been into a game in a long time, you guys, so I'll be playing Valheim all weekend, and I'll definitely be playing with Prodigy, my man. He's got a saying, and it goes a little something like,
you got, bitch.
That's my man, Prodigy, right
there. That is all we got for this episode, guys. I appreciate it. Again, we can't say enough like how much you guys power us to do this every week. Thank you for coming through on the comments as well. We will see you in Lads Radio, and as our man, the Beard, always says, happy trading.